Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about a famous topic which is COVID-19 and its impact on our day-to-day lives and trends which are revolving around it. So to start off with, let's just take a look at what people search and how search has impacted during this COVID-19 unfolding. So what we see here is a report from Google Trends, and we see 5 topics, 5 search terms which are revolving around games, movies, delivery, data, and then COVID. Coronavirus was always there in this world. However, COVID gained such a fame that people started searching about it because it's so contagious than the other viruses. So which is why we see a huge spike in Sri Lanka as well in terms of search behaviors going up out of nowhere. And then delivery, we all know that Sri Lanka is very much new to e-commerce, and then online delivery, online purchases, all of these things are quite new to Sri Lankans. But however, due to this COVID situation, we see a huge spike right over here soon after COVID, spiking up, searching for delivery related search terms. So we'll just figure out what these delivery related search terms are in the latest slide. Data and games, they go hand in hand. Most of the gamers are youth. Most of the data consumers are also youth. So what you see here is 2 lines which is going parallel and almost near each other throughout the period until the COVID scenario, where it has started spiking just a little bit. And then we have movies. Movies is higher in terms of search volume, if we can see from the graph, which is a red line. So movies as well, after this COVID scenario, has started spiking up. So let's just take a closer look at what exactly happened in the past 30 days and how each of these search behaviors changed over these past 30 days. On 12th of March, we reported the second case, which is a Sri Lanka. And then from there onwards, we start seeing people have now started showing interest on COVID-19 and then started searching on COVID-19. All of these other search terms were quite above COVID searches until that time. But from that time onwards, then it started rising, and then it has passed data and games by the 6th. And by this time, some of the companies have also started implementing strategies like working from home and so on and so forth, so that their employees are also safe. And then we see an increase of this line, which is movies, after some time, because after work they don't have to travel from work anymore. They just they are at home working, and then after that they have more spare time to even for entertainment as well. So it starts spiking little by little. And on 26th, by 26th, police declared curfew. And when that happened, 23rd, when curfew was imposed, what we see is above all of these lines, which is games, data, and all of these other lines, which is games, data, movies, and so on and so forth, we see a huge spike out of nowhere for delivery. So let's just take a look at that later on in terms of what exactly these searches are. And I'm sure that you can take a guess as well. So let's just first take a look at what corona related searches that our Sri Lankans perform. Right, so they like to keep informed about corona, so which is why they search about the COVID-19 virus in general, and then COVID-19 Sri Lanka search term, followed by COVID-19 update, COVID-19 world, so on and so forth. So they like to know about what's happening. And then what we see on our map is that we see a lot of intensity around places like Central Province, Western Province, Southern Province, and then even in Eastern Province as well. But it's pretty much well spread around Sri Lanka in terms of this COVID related search terms. and then delivery. So when it comes to delivery, what we see here, all of these search terms, they're all about groceries. Nothing about Uber Eats or nothing about Pick Me Food or anything as such. It's all about groceries, because why? They need food to survive, groceries to survive. So if you look at the search terms over here, food delivery is at the top, and then afterwards we have home delivery, kiosk, food city delivery, car gears again, and then Apico delivery, so on and so forth. So pretty much you see all the supermarket chains around this search behavior. So it's nothing but delivery of groceries to their doorstep that they are expecting during this situation. Because why? Once the curfew was imposed, everyone was locked down, and then they wanted groceries to survive. So online delivery was the only place. There were a few people who were complaining about this as well. But we must also understand that none of these supermarket chains, who I call so-called giants, were geared for 100% doorstep delivery all throughout this time, because the online delivery for food was always less than 5-10% in Sri Lanka. So because of that, none of them were prepared. But then again, I believe they do a great job right now in terms of facilitating these, no matter how much their value chains are not geared for this. In such a short period, they have nicely adapted and now implemented this already to support Sri Lankans. Movies. So you might be wondering why we have a picture of a Tamil movie over here. So let me just tell you why. So in terms of movies, when we look at the search behavior, what we see is at highest we have Tamil movies, followed by movies 2019, again Tamil movie download, free movies, single movies, English movies, new Tamil movies, and so on and so forth. So what we see here is mostly that people are looking for Tamil movie content around this period. And then if you look at where these searches are coming from, it's mostly coming from the eastern part of the country, a bit from the central province, and also from the northern province as well. To do all of this, we need something. The fuel nowadays is not petrol, it's data. And data is one of the mandatory needs of all of our people. And it's also now the time to upgrade their data packages, because they have more time to play with their little mobile phones now than ever before. And they have more time to browse through internet, download movies, play games, so on and so on. You name it, they need so many reasons, or they have rather, for so many reasons to consume data. So now they are looking at dialog data, Mobitel data, Airtel data, Hutch data, so on and so forth. They are just searching all of these data package related search queries, so that they can most probably upgrade right now, because they need data, as I just said. And this behavior is not limited to one province, this is all throughout. I think some of my colleagues or friends who are watching this video coming from telco background could enlighten me further whether there was an uptake of package upgradation that was happening during the past month as well. So people were searching, however, as long as the data is as far as the data is concerned, as you can see from these charts. The other thing that we observe through this data is around games. People have also started looking for more and more games. Search queries like games download, online games, car games, PC games download, ocean games to play, things like that, which are very generic, I would say, not really game driven or around the game. It's just that they want something to keep themselves occupied right now. And interestingly, there's a smaller spike, however, for cooking games as well. So if you look at where these searches are coming from, they are mostly coming from Western province, Central province, North Central, and places like that. So that's where most of these game related searches are coming from, not from the areas where Eastern province and Northern province where they are busy watching movies, but mostly coming from the rest of Sri Lanka. So apart from all of these things that we learn from data, there's also something that I observe on social media. I'm sure that you guys have observed the same, and also sometimes more than what I have just compiled in these slides. You can comment down below and just have a chat with me. We can discuss on those matters as well. Firstly, challenges and dares. You upload a picture when you were small and then say tag a few people and then ask them to share their pictures as well. Or maybe you upload a picture with a random caption and then when people like it, you just send them a message saying you're caught now. You have to do this challenge because you have reacted on my picture. Apart from that, trips down the memory lanes, for some odd reason, people are just going down the timeline, just going through the same hassle of going through the timeline and then searching for the oldest and most ridiculous picture of you and then just post a random comment around that picture which doesn't have any relationship to what it is in the picture. And then just to make sure that the picture again comes on top of the news feed so that people can comment and people can make fun of you. So it's all done for fun, and then we see most of the people are doing it, and I have done it as well, I must confess. Apart from that, COVID hairstyles, as you can see, maybe if you know me personally, you would know that I'm not a person who cut my hair like this, but then again, desperate times, desperate measures. We don't want to go to a salon, so I think most of the people are also going on a trend of cutting their hair short and also uploading pictures on social media saying quarantine, COVID-19 hairstyles and so on and so forth. And also people have started discovering themselves furthermore as well. People who have talents like music, people who have talents like art, and things like that, they have now started exploring them further and further when they are spending time at home in lockdown. They are now more closer to the piano, sometimes to the guitar, to their artboard, and people who are dancing, they're dancing, and all of those things are happening right now. So now people are now since they can't go out, they are going more inside them to understand who they are really and what matters to them. Alright, so let's sum up all of these trends that we understood. Firstly, there was a virus called Corona, COVID-19. And then, when people were locked down, they wanted groceries. So what did they do? They searched online, tried to get their groceries delivered home to their doorstep. And that was used on digital. This was never something that people used to do back then in Sri Lanka in general. But now people are more and more looking to get their groceries delivered home. To do all of that, we need another fuel as well, which is data. So now they are trying to upgrade their data as well, data packages, so that they would have more and more data to play around, to have fun, to keep them occupied. Speaking of keeping occupied, movies, games are pretty much two things that people are looking at right now, aside from the other things that they do on a usual basis offline. Apart from all this, since now people are distancing each other socially in real life, in the real world, people are now getting closer and closer on digital. I think that's the most fascinating part in this digital era. If COVID-19 happened some time ago, we wouldn't have anyone to talk to. We wouldn't be able to talk to any of our friends and then ask how they are doing. But with the connectivity in the modern world, in the digital era, now people are able to talk to their friends more and more, get more closer, even if they are physically distant right now. So these are a few observations that I have seen in Sri Lanka right now with this COVID scenario. Feel free to add more and then post a comment saying whichever the trends that you have liked I would be happy to listen to those comments as well. And I hope you like this video. Have a nice day. Ayubowan.